This is Dana Abraham from Lemon Lime Adventures, and I also am a Young Living independent distributor. And I have a group called the Oil Explorers. And today I was talking with my executives and my silver, and we were discussing care calls. And that's just a scary thing for all of us, especially if you're a blogger and you're doing yeah, network marketing and you're not used to meeting people face to face and you don't know the members of your downline. So we were talking about some of the reasons that care calls can be difficult, and my good friend and new silver, Lauren, is here. Lauren, introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Lauren. I blog at The Military Wife and Mom and have been doing Young Living for about a year, and I'm just silver last month. So we are working on, building more relationships with our members and trying to brainstorm some better solutions to do that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lauren. That's exactly what we noticed was happening. Our team grew really, really fast at the beginning last year. We both joined last November, and it was growing so fast, but we didn't really know anyone in our team. And so what we saw happen is February, March, April, it was still going pretty well. And then about June, everything just kind of hit a plateau and then actually started going downhill about half of what our business was before. And so 2 months ago, kind of just hit strong again. Lauren kind of never gave up. She did have a baby in there, but she never gave up. And so we kind of just hit it strong again and decided to start making those connections and making it about relationships. And so care calls are definitely part of that. So Lauren, we're just going to have like a very informal conversation. So Lauren, tell me, what were we talking about care calls? Like, what are the reasons that we might need a care call? Like, let's brainstorm some reasons we might need to do care calls.
Okay, so someone's about to go inactive, you would want to call them. If someone places a big order but they're not on Essential Rewards, you probably want to give them a call. If someone signs someone up, but you've never talked to them before, you probably want to talk to them and see if they're interested in the business or where that all kind of came from. What are some other reasons that you might call somebody? What if they miss their monthly order?
People as soon as they order, right? As soon as they sign up on your blog and you don't know them personally, you've started calling them as soon as you have that brand new sign up, which we were not doing before.
Yeah.
I think so. I've called people for a couple of reasons, like what you just said, or if I notice that they used to order and they no longer are ordering, and then I've also made it just a point to call people just to get to know them. Maybe they are ordering every month, but I don't even know who they are. So I've been adding them to my list. But sometimes it can be really daunting to even know where to get started with care calls. Would you agree, Lauren? Is she backed up?
Yeah, I have an echo on my end. I'm wondering.
Is it because we don't have headphones on?
I'm getting major feedback right now, I think.
I don't have any headphones.
Oh, here. Here it is.
Uh-oh. She closed out the Google Hangout and then she left us. Okay, so she'll come back in just a minute. So what we were talking about, I know she'll jump back in. So what we were talking about is that it can be really hard to know where to even get started with your care calls. And some of the reasons it can be hard to get started is you might have a large team, but you may not have really enrolled a lot of them. Maybe someone above in your upline enrolled those people and you don't actually know them. Maybe you are a blogger and you don't know the people that signed up, even if you are the enroller. Or maybe getting on the phone just literally puts like knots in your stomach and makes you sick to think about. So those are some of the reasons that it can be really hard to get started. So I'd like to talk about just like some quick tips for getting started with care calls. The first one is to make sure you do it when you are in a non-stressed environment. So to do this call, I had to remove myself from, she joined, but she's muted. Okay, so I had to remove myself from, you know, the busyness of my house and everything, and come down to the basement. And you can see I'm in my unfinished office here, but you know, I have a place where I can come and it's quiet and I can think about the person that I'm going to call. And so that's tip number one. Tip number two is actually, if you're Young Living and you're worried about care calls, like use your Young Living, right? So use Valor, Stress Away, anything that's really going to help. Apply those, diffuse them before it won't allow her to unmute. Oh man, can I unmute you? Let me see if I can unmute you. I may have done something in my settings. See if that helps. I just undid some of the settings. Sorry. Sorry, guys. We are having a lot of technical difficulty with this. We are a hot mess today. Oh my gosh. We tried a Blab and that didn't work, and now we're trying a Google Hangout and it's not working very well. Okay, can you leave and come back, Lauren, and see if that helps? Oh, I had just found it. Okay, when she comes back, I figured it out. Okay, so go to a quiet place, apply your Stress Away, drink some water so you're not parched, make sure your phone is charged, and just do one. Just one, and start with the easiest one. Start with one that you think is just gonna go super easy. And I think that that can really help get started with care calls when you've never done one before. When I first got started with care calls, I had no clue. Hi, Lauren. So there you are. You can mute and unmute now, it looks like. Hi.
Okay. Can I play with my friends?
Okay, hold on just a second. Probably, I don't know what time it is, but I'm busy.
Huh? Well, that school gets off at 1, and I gave them 2 hours.
Okay. Another tip, things can go wrong, right? Like, so our Blab didn't work, my Google Hangout didn't work, and then my son interrupted me, and that is going to happen when you make care calls, right, Lauren?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay, so I need more of these. Okay, so we were gonna just kind of talk through some of the scenarios that when you call someone, like what are some of the things that could happen, right? And you were gonna be my like person, right, Lauren?
Yeah. Okay, so pretend that you're calling me.
Okay, so tell me, okay, so I'm gonna call you. Give me a reason I'm calling you first of all, so I know what I'm gonna call.
You don't know me at all, and let's say my account is about to go inactive, and you've never talked to me. I haven't ordered anything in almost a year.
Okay. So let's do this 2 ways. Let's do it first where it goes to voicemail.
Okay, great.
All right, so ring, 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 and I'm already planning on calling. All right. Let's see. I feel like I need a phone in my hand. All right. So let me think. All right. Hey, Lauren, it's Dana. I know you're upline from Young Living Essential Oils. I know you don't know me and we haven't talked, so it's super weird to talk to someone you haven't talked to. So that's completely okay, but I just knew that I needed to reach out to you. You signed up almost over a year ago, and I've never reached out to say hi. And I just wanted to know more about you and your family, why you joined Essential Oils why you got your kit in the first place. And if you ever thought about getting more oils, or if you found something that worked or didn't work for you, I wanted to be a support system for you. So if you have a chance to give me a call back, that would be great. Here's my number, blah, blah, blah. But again, I know you don't know me, and so it could be really hard to call me. So what you can do is you can email me. I give them my email. Or you can text me back at this number. I'm actually about to send you a text message so that you can hear, you can just write back to that. Or you can find me on Facebook, and I tell them how they can find us. And then I hang up, and then I text them the same thing. Hey, it's Dana, from your Young Living Essential Oil, blah, blah. And I just left you a voicemail. You can hear more about it. And then I send them an email, like maybe a day or two later if they don't write back. And I say, hey, I called you. I didn't hear anything, but I really would like to get to know you better and, connect with you. So that's what I've done when I get a voicemail, because more likely than not, you're going to get a voicemail because, you've done a lot of care calls recently too. And if you've done 20 care calls, how many voicemails do you think you're getting?
Like 90%.
Right. Like it's rare that I actually get someone on the phone. And so you kind of have to prep your voicemail ahead of time. And you saw I messed up at the beginning. I was like, this is Dana from,
Who am I?
it's okay, I don't know. And I actually kind of would rather get a voicemail because then I'm like, okay, but then of course I really don't want a voicemail. I want that real person. But just put yourself in their shoes. Like, what would it be like if some random phone number is calling your phone? And most of us don't have home phones. Most of us have cell phones. So we're calling their very personal phone number. Or we're calling a number that they gave because that's the number they give to all the places that they do their business on. Right, for their solicitors and stuff. And so, it's going to take some active higher being to get them to actually answer us anyway.
Okay.
But it's worth it. Did that help?
So let's do another one. Yeah, where it rings and I answer.
Oh, okay. And you answer. Same scenario though. You're about to go inactive.
Yeah.
Okay. And I personally enrolled you.
No, let's say you never even enrolled me. I just ended up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even enroll you. That makes it really hard because you guys know sometimes, there's strategic place in it. And so you might not know the person. Okay. Let's see if I have my dashboard open, I could even go.
That's the situation that I'm in right now. A lot of my about to go inactives are not people I enrolled at all.
Absolutely. Well, let me just look so that I can just kind of get a name. So I'm just going to go do a report about to go inactive. Wow, there's 52 in there. All right. Brittany Gladhill. Oops, I shouldn't say her name. Okay, so this person I actually personally enrolled, so I'm going to skip on. I'm going to find someone. Here's one. Oh, she's under you. Here we go. All right, so Mitzi was put underneath us and has not ordered since 11/28/2014. And she joined under Skip to My Lou. All right, so I call and I say,
Ring, ring.
Yeah, ring, ring. All right. So ring, ring. You're answering, right?
Hello, hi, this is Mitzi.
Hi, Mitzi. This is Dana from Young Living Essential Oils. How are you doing today?
Fine, thanks.
I know it's totally weird to get a phone call from someone out of the blue. I just was looking in, in my organization, and I noticed that your account was about to go inactive. And I know you don't know me. It looks like you maybe signed up under Cindy Hopper or Skip to My Lou. Did you sign up under a blog, or did you sign up? Do you know Cindy?
Oh, yeah, I just signed up, I think, on a website last year, maybe on a blog.
Oh, yeah. She has an awesome blog. Do you follow mini blogs?
Not really anymore. I haven't been online that much.
Oh, have you been busy? Has it been like a crazy year?
Yeah, we've been kind of busy.
Okay. So I know last year there was like a really good deal to get everyone signed up, and you might have even gotten, the Black Friday deal and gotten your kit. How did you like your kit?
I actually didn't use it as much as I thought I would.
Okay. What did you use, or what was the reason? Do you know the reason you didn't use it? Was there?
Well, I guess I just wasn't really sure what to do with all the oils in the cabinet.
Oh my goodness. I had that same problem when I joined. I was a huge skeptic and I didn't understand how to use any of it. Did you happen to get the little spiral book when you joined, and were you added to any of the Facebook groups?
Yeah, I did get the book. I don't go on Facebook very much, so I don't know if I'm in the groups or not.
Okay. Well, would you be open to just doing, like, maybe we can check in if you're still wanting to learn about the oils? I could kind of go through some of them. I could do a little one-on-one, like, over the phone class with you if you were interested.
Oh, okay, that might be interesting.
Okay. Well, I saw that your account was about to go inactive, so there's not anything that you need to super worry about, except for that the discount that you get with having an account gives you a 24% discount. And so you just to, keep that active, all you have to do is place a 50 PV order, which, is there any oil that you ran out of? I know you didn't use it much, but did you use the peppermint or the lavender?
Yeah, I'm getting kind of low on the peppermint.
Oh, that might be a really good one to add, or to get a new bottle of. And did you get a chance to try the Peace and Calming or Valor yet?
No, I haven't ordered anything yet since I got my starter kit.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Peace and Calming is pretty much the best thing on earth. And if you've been super busy, that one's really great for, like, jumping around town or dealing with kids. I don't know how many kids you have or if you have kids, but that one could be really good. And I'd be happy to just go through the oils even if you don't want to do another order. That'd be something.
Yeah.
Okay.
That might really help me.
Okay. Well, let's plan a time. And do you mind if I, reach out to you on email, or I add you to a Facebook group that we have, so that there's only a few hundred people in the group, so it's not so big and feel so overwhelming, so you can feel like you have more direct contact with us?
Sure. Yeah, that would be fine.
Oh, that sounds great. All right. And then I can send you some information via email, and then I'll also just call you back in the next week or so to check and see, and maybe one way to get started is just to put the diffuser out. I notice when I have it on my counter, I use it almost every day, but if it's put away, I never take the time to get it out. And so if you just put, I like to keep a mason jar of water beside my diffuser so that it's always ready to fill. Have you tried something like that?
I haven't, but that's a really good idea.
Okay, well, how about I check back next week and we'll do our class together, and then you tell me which oils you've liked the best.
Okay, that sounds great.
Awesome. All right, I'll talk to you then.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, that was really good for a couple of reasons, because one, when you call people and you say, hey, I know you don't know me, it's really strange that I'm calling you, that completely shatters that whole awkward barrier. And then two, the biggest struggle that I have is people are just kind of shut the conversation down right away, because of course you don't know them, so they don't really want to share information with you because that would be strange.
Right.
And I like how you just say, well, okay, and then you kind of move on to something else instead of just sitting there and dwelling on it. So I'm going to have to re-listen to this recording a couple times because that was really helpful.
Oh, good. See, it's good because you were asking me what I do, and I'm like, I don't know. I just talk. So it's good that you're able to hear the things that I do. I do try, that's one big tip, is that you want to connect with them and ask them questions, and you don't want to give them yes and no questions. And I definitely did that. If I go back, I could critique my care call. I definitely said, did you or have you, instead of, what do you think? I did a couple of those. Or, when was the last time? An open-ended question is much easier to get a response to, instead of it just being yep, no, done. Can I go watch my TV show now? I don't know you. And then also making them commit to something. Is it okay that I call you, in 3 days? Yes, it's okay if you call me. Okay, great. I'm gonna call you. Like be expecting my phone call. That way that like when you call, they almost like feel like they need to answer.
Okay.
Any other scenarios that you feel like we should go through?
So let's do a scenario where someone placed a big order and you want to get them to make it an ER order and how you would go about doing that.
Awesome. I can do that because we were just talking about that today. That's what sparked this conversation. All right, so you're actually Dana because that's who just did it today. All right, so go ahead and you'll answer. It's just easier if you answer. All right, so ring ring.
Hello, hi.
Hi, Dana. This is Dana. We have the same name. I know that's crazy, but this is Dana from Young Living Essential Oils, and it looks like you signed up under Heather a couple of months ago, almost a year ago now, and it looks like you've been placing a couple of orders. I just wanted to learn more about you so I could kind of see if I could support you anyway. Can you tell me more about your family and why you started Young Living Essential Oils? And I can tell you, I know because I got her voicemail. This girl's an OT. So immediately, so you can tell me, like, oh, I'm an OT. You would tell me.
Oh, I'm an OT, and I started with Young Living just to maybe take some of the chemicals out of our home. And yeah, I'm a mom.
Okay.
That's me.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so I noticed that you were an OT. My son actually goes to OT also. He goes once a week. And do you work with children or do you work with adults?
I work with adults.
Oh, you work with adults. Oh, how interesting. Do you use the oils much in your practice? Because I know my son's OT uses the oils a lot because he goes because of his sensory needs.
Yeah, I've kind of dabbled in it a little bit.
All right. Well, I noticed that you've been placing quite a few big orders recently, and it looks like you've been getting enough to get the freebies from Young Living. They've been sending you all the freebies, right?
Yeah, they've been sending me a couple extra things each month.
Yeah. Well, did you know that they have a rewards program where if you order every month, if you're already going to be placing orders, you could be getting points back. And what those points count for is almost dollar for point. You could order products from Young Living that you already love. So what's your favorite oil or what's your favorite product that you've been ordering monthly?
We've been using Panaway a lot.
Oh, Panaway. And that one is like, if you ever have to reorder Panaway, that one is not a very inexpensive oil, right? It's like, I think for a small bottle, it's like $30, and for a large bottle, it's like $70. Well, with the Essential Rewards, you actually would have gotten 30 points back for each month that you've ordered. How many months have you been ordering from Young Living?
Just the last couple, I kind of started ordering again and wanted to try some things.
Yeah, so you would have almost 100 points that you could order. So you'd get a free bottle of Panaway, and plus some other things. And then when you order that 300 order through ER, you're actually going to get an extra bonus instead of just, if they're sending, last month it was those 5 items. Well, with Essential Rewards, it was 6 items. You got an extra oil. Sometimes you get extra bonus points or you get other things. And then on top of it, you get free, cheaper shipping. So instead of paying, $10 or $15 for shipping, you're going to pay a whole lot less for shipping, which is really awesome if you're ordering every month.
See, I hate getting locked into stuff because then you end up paying, buying all this stuff and it's like, do I really need it?
Oh my gosh, I hate that too. And that's what's awesome about essential oils or the Essential Rewards is that you don't have to be locked in. And so what I love most is you could do it for 1 month and then you could cancel. But the Young Living will reward you if you stay on Essential Rewards longer. So if you join Essential Rewards and you order that 300, you're going to get 30 points back. So you can use that the next month to order your free oil or whatever product you're wanting. And then you could cancel it, never do it again. But if you keep it, then you can keep it for 6 months. They're going to give you the 10% every month. And then once you get past that 6 months, they're going to give you 15%. And then if you stay on after a year, they're going to give you 20%. So right now, when I order 300 PV, I'm getting 60 points each month, which is really nice. It's a lot of free product that I'm able to get back. But one of the nice things, like I said, is that you don't have to order every month. You can take one skip month a year, which means that, you know, if it's like a rough month or you guys can't order, then you can call Young Living or call me and you can say, hey, I don't want to place my Essential Reward this month. Can we just put it on hold? And that way you don't lose your points. And then you can pick it back up the next month. And then the minimum is just 50 PV. So I know you've been placing some larger orders, but you definitely don't have to do that. And then you get to pick anything you want. So like if you're always ordering Peace and Calming, you can switch it the next month. That's my favorite part of the month actually, is to go in and switch it as much, you know, up and find new products. Does that sound a little better? Not as locked in?
Yeah, I like that idea.
And I see that your order hasn't shipped yet. So if it's something that you're considering, we can even call in today and we can get it switched over for you, and they'll give you that extra oil and they'll give you your points on the order you made today. Does that sound like something you might want to do?
Sure.
Okay. Well, then what I can do is I can call right now with you and I can just merge the call, or I just need your 4-digit PIN number and then you don't have to deal with it at all. What's easier for you?
Oh, sure, you can merge the call.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna hold on a minute. I'm gonna get them, and then be sure that when we're done talking to, you know, customer service, that we get a time to talk, because I want to walk you through and show you how to change your order for next month in case, you know, you don't want to do it anymore.
Okay, that sounds good.
Awesome. All right. Well, it's been great talking to you. Let me call Young Living for you now. Okay, that's it. I love that you like have your phone.
How do you merge the call? I don't know if I've ever done that.
So
I don't know if I can.
My cell phone, if I like I don't have my cell phone with me, I don't think. I can go and make another call and it keeps it on. Can you show me your screen? What do you have, an iPhone or an Android?
An iPhone.
Oh, see, I have an Android. So I can go in and it says add call is what mine says. And then I call it and then it'll put them on hold. And then once customer care picks up, then it says merge call. And then both of them are on a conference call together.
Okay.
Any other scenarios that we should walk through today? Those two are really good ones.
I think that was just really helpful to see. The most important thing is really how do you bounce back when someone gives you a short kind of door closing answer that's kind of empty, like there's not a lot of conversation going on there. So that was the thing that I really struggle with the most, and it could be any scenario, you know.
You know what? I always just go into care calls as the worst they can do is like hang up on me, and most people are really nice. They're not going to hang up on you, and so they might give you like a very closed off answer. But if you keep digging and just take the business part out of it and start asking them about their family, ask them about what their favorite thing to do on the weekend is, ask them, you know, like about their job, where do they work, who do they work with, you know, like I was doing with the OT or whatever, like you weren't giving me answers I was expecting. And so I was like, oh, you work with adults, like, like that's not what I was hoping you'd say. You know, and so like that's gonna happen. Like I don't know these people. They could say anything. You know, she could tell me that she is an OT for adults, and I would be like, oh, duh. You know, like in my head, I was totally thinking that she's an OT for children. So like I just think finding that common ground. Like I would much rather have a conversation with some random person that calls me if they want to know more about me instead of, and it seems real. It doesn't just seem like they're trying to make a sale. And I know in the end we're trying to make a sale and we want, but really like I could care less if I make a sale with this, this person that hasn't ordered in a year. But as long as they're willing to let me call them again next month and find out how they're doing. And then the next month, and then the next month. And then even if it's a whole nother year from now, and then they're like, you know what? Like, I do want some oils again. And then they remember me because I've called them and talked to them. Like, I'm just not one that, like, cares so much if they make the sale right this minute. Or, and
Right.
even ever, because it's all about that connection. And because if I'm connecting with them, then they're changing their life. Like I'm helping them in some way in their life. So that's kind of how I get through some of that when I get a barrier.
Yeah, and I think you just keep the tone very lighthearted.
Yes.
It's not rigid and structured and
Yeah, I try, like when I get through, I don't get through to a whole lot of them, but I do try to keep it as like I'm just calling my best friend and saying like, hey, I haven't talked to you in a while. Like, how are you doing? So one of care call we didn't talk about is calling someone who has signed someone up
okay.
before, or not
do
signed
that.
someone up, but you know that they're interested in the business side. And that's where I started my care calls this last 2 months ago. I started calling any of the, like what people call a business builder. And so I started calling them and just saying like, hey, I don't really know you. Like I should know you. You want to grow your business and I'm here to help you grow your business and I'm not helping you because I don't know you. And so I would find out more about them. And I've met some really awesome people. And I know you have in the last couple of months too, right? Like,
Mhm.
I've gotten to really know some people that I never, that were there the whole time. And just because I'm calling them and now they have a face, they have a voice, now they feel supported and they feel like they can go out there and, try this on their own now. I think that's really important. So,
Last month we had somebody who you called and they decided that they wanted to place a big order at the end of your conversation, but then they didn't really place the order until the last minute. So how did you contact them again to follow up? Because Alyssa says the wealth is in the follow-up. I mean, it's something like that.
100%. Okay. So remember how like on that one call, I was like, is it okay if I call you in a week or whatever? Like I always like to ask their permission. Rarely will they say no, whatever, So this one, we had already connected. This one was a little of a special story. Two of my inactives, the only two that really, did anything. Although I did see one ordered this month and I never like actually talked to her. She just heard my message. And she ordered the 300 PV this month. So apparently they're hearing it and they're like, oh, this is a good deal. We should jump on. So this one she's active in our oil group. She just hasn't ordered for a year. Both of them are completely active in our group and answer questions and ask questions and talk. And so I just messaged them on Facebook and I said, hey, I noticed that you haven't ordered in a year. Like, is there anything I can help with? Is there anything that you didn't like, blah, blah. And they said, oh, I was actually thinking of ordering. And, I was like, okay, well, do you want to get on a call? And so the one I talked to, and we had a lot in common because we know each other from the sensory support groups. We talked about that a lot. And then she said, oh, I really want to do this. I've already asked my husband. It's all in the cart, and I just have to get his permission. So she was just waiting for her permission to for that to be her Christmas gift to do the full 300 PV. And she said, and I think I'm going to jump on ER because I get the points back. Because I had to explain Essential Rewards to her. She was not going to do Essential Rewards. And she was just going to press quick order. She had it all in her cart. And so I explained it all to her. And I said, you're going to get 30 points back. You're going to get an extra oil. and then you can bump it down to 50 next month. You know, because even with us talking, she was like, oh, I have all these things I want to try. It's even over 300. And I was like, well, then, you know, stop at 300 and save the rest for another month. And, you know, like I could have said, oh, make your order as big as possible so that I could have that, you know, the commission or whatever. But I didn't want that. That wasn't, it's not what's best for her. And so we talked about that. And then I had her phone number, which means I have her text, you know, number as well. And so, I mean, I was traveling and everything, you know, the last day of the month I was traveling. And so I like was speak to texting her, you know, in a text message. I was like, hey, I noticed that you haven't ordered yet. Did everything go okay? And I didn't hear anything back. And then the day before she was like, oh, it'll be after 9 p.m. So, okay. All right. So at 10 p.m., I texted her and I said, oh, I see, like, you don't have an order yet. Did the ER go through okay? I'm about to make a call to customer service to push some other orders out. And she said, oh, I just got home from work. I just opened the computer. I was like, so sorry to bug you. She's like, no, keep bugging me. So she told me to keep bugging her. So I did. I mean, up until, and you know, it was like 11:30 p.m. when she hit enter. And I had to like take that and then turn it into an email and then send it out and like get it approved by our Diamond support. I mean, it was like, it was a rush, but like it happened. And so, yeah, if I hadn't done any follow-up, she wouldn't have ordered.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure of it. And that's what made you silver.
Yeah.
That one order is why you became silver. Like, that's huge. Like, that one order makes such a big difference. And she probably doesn't know that. She might if she sees this video, but so yeah, follow-up's huge. Definitely, like, make a note, put a note. You can make notes in your VO. That's what I do. Like the one about that's an OT. I got the voicemail and it said, "Oh, this is such and such OT office, and you know, Dana's available on these days and Lindsay's available on these days." And I was like, "Ooh, she's an OT." And I just like wrote a note. I didn't leave a message because it was obviously their business phone number. And so I feel like that wasn't the right place to leave it. So I'll just email her and try to reach out to her or get her at another time where I don't leave a message that's not OT related, because I don't feel like that's really fair.
That's a good tip too.
Yeah. So I just try to think of like what I would want. You know, I don't call during, you know, I call in the middle of the day. I know I might not get them, but I definitely would rather have a voicemail from someone in the middle of the day than someone call me during dinner.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was going to ask. So when do we think is the best time to try to do a care call? You say call during daytime business hours. What about evening time too? No.
So I don't know.
I have called just during the daytime so far, but I was curious because it's like, well, people are working. They're not necessarily answering their phone.
Right. I don't know. I know that there's, you know, some gurus out there that would tell you exactly when is a good time for care calls. This is just kind of like, you know, I like to say I'm an expert at not being an expert. So this is just like my non-expert advice on care calls. I'm sure there's research on the best time to do care calls. And the reason that people call at 5 p.m. is they know you're going to be home. And that is why like the big telemarketers call at 5 p.m. You know, so I'm sure that's a great time to reach people, but you know, you don't like it. So, you know, and this isn't about marketing to them. This is about connecting with them. So I just think of it of like, when would I call my friend? Like I would call my friend anytime I can fit it in. And I would just say, you know, lately, you know, with you, I've been doing Voxer with the quick messages, but you have to actually know someone for that. What you can do is those quick Facebook 1-minute messages. And those are amazing for connecting with people, especially other people who just signed someone up. Like you can call and be like, oh, I saw you just had a new sign up. How exciting. Like keep going. And that's it. And it takes 5 seconds. And I do those a lot when I'm like, well, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but like when I'm sitting in the bathroom or when I'm like, you know, sitting out in my car, like waiting to come in the house, I'm like, okay, how many 30-second calls can I make in this 5-minute period? I'm just going to because you don't have to wait for it to ring. You don't have to wait for them to answer. And so it cuts out a lot of that time. And we're all busy. A lot of us are stay-at-home moms doing this, or work-at-home moms. So we've got to fit this in wherever we can. And I think that's an important tip too, is just a care call doesn't have to be a phone call.
Yeah, and the Facebook stuff is easy for me because if I've connected with someone already, it's easy for me to call them and I don't get nervous about it or anything. It's really just when I don't know somebody at all and they did not sign up under me because there's literally no connection whatsoever.
Right, that one's been really hard. And I've noticed that even a lot of people don't even make the care calls to people they do know. And people they've personally signed up. They just aren't calling them. They're not saying hi. They're not saying they're thinking about them. And I think that makes a huge difference. When you don't tell the people, one person I called, I was at Silver Retreat when I called her, and she happened to be the first person I called. And I said, I don't know you, you don't know me, but I'm your upline, and I know you signed up through XYZ, and so I just wanted to reach out and say hi. I said, I don't know if you're a blogger or not, but I know you signed up through this person, so I'm assuming you might be. And she called me back, and we had a 2-hour conversation, and it was amazing. And now she's super active in our groups and asks questions all the time. And I was able to find out what her hurdles are, why she's not building the business, and they make complete sense. She works full time doing something else, and she is a single mom taking care of her kids, and so that was really cool to know that now, which, why has it been a year before I called her? I should know her. And there's still people that might watch this if they're watching this long, because we've been on for a while. But if you get to this point in the call, there's people in our team that are going to see this and they're going to be like, well, you've never called me. And you're right. I have, it's an excuse to say I have 800 people, but I have actually we just bumped over 900 members. And so digging down and seeing who I need to call has been difficult. That was my biggest hurdle. Where do I even start? There's so many people. So when we were having glitches earlier, I talked about the things that keep me from even doing care calls. And the just mass number of them is part of it. So I've just started with, calling people that have signed someone up before. That's the easiest one to call. Or someone that is currently actively signing people up. Look at your last month and look at who signed up the most people. That's a really quick, easy person to call, is go and congratulate them on how many people they signed up. Give them a free lemon oil or a free jade lemon or, something for signing up 10 people or signing up 5 people. That's the easiest way to connect, is just, give them gratitude for what they've been doing.
Right.
So I'm trying to get better at that.
Well, this was great. I think it's helpful, and I think maybe we can do some other sort of video scenario next week. It helps me a lot, so maybe it helps other people too.
Good. I hope so. And I tell you this all the time, but you're better at writing it all out and explaining it in so now, and you're able to see what it is that that needs to be told to other people. And so if we can just take this and put it in a nice little format, then that will be really helpful for people, I think. If we can make a little book for care calls or whatever. That's my goal. That's my 2016 goal, is to really have a business in a box that we can hand people.
Yeah.
I think that would be nice.
Okay, great. Well, I'm going to go check on my baby. She's been sleeping all night. So
well, and anyone watching this, I want you guys to tell us the takeaways from this. And what I'll do is I'll make a short, condensed, 3-minute watch time video of just a quick do this. And maybe that'll be helpful.
Great.
All right.
Okay.
All
Bye.
right, bye.